I never tried using a full bottle before. I saw people doing this when it's half full, but let me try it again. Again. Ow. Hi guys, welcome once again to another episode of Revenge of the Show. I'm David Calderon, and today the first thing I'm going to talk about is what happened with, well, from what I can say is what really happened to G4. So here's what I knew. A few days ago, I heard more information about what happened with G4 and about why they had to shut down a second time. I'm still reeling over what happened with G4 TV. Well, here's what I can say: that the company Comcast spectators stated that it was because they fell short of $19.2 million. Yeah, because they were short on money, and that was kind of the problem. They didn't have any sponsorship like they did with the early years. Like they had sponsorship with EV Games, GameStop, and I think Pepsi that I remembered in 2005. But from last year, they didn't have any that much sponsorship. They invested in a lot of money, but they didn't get any sponsors. And apart from having regulars like the regular Ninja Warrior with Satsuki, they're even having television types of Smosh and Scott the Woz. From that I know they didn't have that much sponsors from what I know. And even though Attack of the Show and X-Play came back in a different, well, but X-Play was a different way, but either way, I still can't believe what happened. And I'm still trying. With this one, Revenge of the Show, I'm doing what I can, and it's still a work in progress. If you guys watched my first episode, yeah, I'm just a beginner when it comes to making weekly talk shows. That's the one thing I want to talk about. Revenge of the Show. This is going to be a weekly talk show. I mean, if you want it to be daily, or have to wait until later in the future. I don't care if I have to wait another decade for another network to buy it, because I'm sure there must be some network company like Viacom, CBS, or even the Fox network, because like the Fox network has Fox, FX, FS1, and Viacom CBS has like the regular CBS channel, CW, and MTV. Yeah, that's what I know. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I'm not sure. Okay, so yeah, like as I said, maybe in another decade or two, people will come back. But if they have to make any changes, it would have to be on the web. Hell, I would even pay a lot of money to watch it as the streaming service. I would. I definitely would. Okay, so let's talk about. Okay, now let's talk about the WWE first of all, and by that I mean the Crown Jewel. I think Logan Paul might have a chance on kicking Roman Reigns' ass, because, like I said, 2 years is far enough. But Logan has to be careful, because I don't think it's just the rest of the bloodline he has to worry about. I mean, not just the Usos, not just Sami Zayn, not just the other relatives. I mean, there's also the Miz. I mean, I still remember what happened at WrestleMania. Like after the Miz and Logan Paul won, the Miz turned his back on him and punched and attacked him. And that was at like night one or night two of WrestleMania, from what I know. But Crown Jewel is only like about 24 hours away. So Next week I'll give you the full details of what I saw. Well, how I feel about it. I the main event better not be a screw up. Logan Paul has to be smart, and he cannot back down. He definitely can't. Okay, another thing to talk about in All Elite Wrestling is like now there's a new person who's helping out the business, who's now, well, I mean, he's a part of the business side for All Elite Wrestling, and guess who that was? The chosen one, Mr. Slapnuts. Yeah, that's right. I still call him Slapnuts. I've been watching WCW Nitro. Yeah, that's Jarrett. The chosen one, Slapnuts. Hope he doesn't call anybody Slapnuts. Because well, now being a part of that in the backstage side, and like being in association with business and All Elite Wrestling, who knows what the Slapnuts might do. Yeah, I call Jarrett Slapnuts. He calls everybody Slapnuts, so I'm calling him Slapnuts. Boy. Oh, that's okay. Here's the next thing I want to talk about. So far, for what I know about the holiday festivities, or like early releases of holiday decorations, stuff, food and drinks. Yeah, Sprite cranberry. There's a lot. There's more. December is still right around the corner, but here's what one company needs to do, or a company that has the ownership of Salerno. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so like I said, the company Salerno, they had. I remember the early years before 2009 that they had Santa's Favorites. They still have it, but in a more duller way. I mean, people were still hope. I mean, so far over like yeah, I think it's already been a decade or two. No, well, no, it's already been a decade. That I remember. They never had any. Well, here's what I say. Salerno, during the holiday season, Salerno would always have their brand holiday. Not holiday. It's called Santa's Favorites. It's called Santa's Favorites. It's straight on the box. And apart from having those Ainsley Christmas tree cookies, there was also the gingerbread cookies, which was my favorite, and the almond cookies were favorable for other people. But during then after 2009, they didn't have any, except for the Christmas tree ones. I mean, that was completely ridiculous. It can't be Santa's Favorites with just the Ainsley Christmas tree cookies. I mean, people so far on the internet have been asking what happened with the almond, what happened with the gingerbread, why don't we have any? I don't know what is going on, but I'm hoping that this year that they'll have it. If not, then I'll just have to talk about it for New Year's, because that is just ridiculous. Besides, the one thing that was ridiculous, besides of us not having those cookies last year, was also because of Sprite cranberry. I mean, last year they didn't have the canned version, only the 16-ounce bottles and the 2-liter. But now this year they finally got it back. Which I would say kudos to Sprite. And I gotta say, this is really good. Sprite Wonder Spice Cranberry is good, but I just call it Sprite Cranberry. Okay, so there's a lot more to talk about here in Revenge of the Show. mean, sooner or later in the future, maybe 3 years or 4 years. But I mean, who knows? I have to find myself to get myself a studio. But maybe that'll be in the future. Yeah, like I said, Revenge of the Show is a work in progress. So, next thing I want to talk about is what's happening with Netflix. New segment I'm working on. So I still watch Netflix. I started watching Netflix when they first released the Cloverfield Paradox, which was after the Super Bowl, and I would say it was pretty much worth it. Yeah, I'm still signing out of Netflix. I'm not giving up on Netflix. So the one thing to talk about on Netflix is that the new sitcom Blockbuster, which is based off of the last remaining blockbuster in the world, which is still exists in Bend, Oregon. Yeah, still exists from what I heard about. Yeah, so that's what the sitcom's gonna be about. The last remaining blockbuster, as we're in the park in it. I'm gonna watch it later tonight. See how it is. Hopefully, pretty good. I still remember Blockbuster. I mean, next door and right from this place, there used to be a Blockbuster, but now it's gone. It didn't last a while, but still. But yeah, there's still one remaining Blockbuster left in the world, and that's in Oregon. But apart from the shows, there's also going to be movies. There's going to be a movie that's coming soon, and it's what most of us were all hoping for. And from what I'm talking about, it's Beverly Hills Cop 4. And now it's titled Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley. And yes, Eddie Murphy is coming back, as well as Jonathan Reinhold, and two other actors that I know about. I mean, they were like the third person in like one with they were each third person. I think that there was this guy in the second movie, and this other actor, what I forgot his name was, but the character's name was John Taggart. He was in the third one. Yeah, but both of them are also coming back for the fourth one. But what I know is about Axel Foley coming back to Beverly Hills, and this time he's gonna be helping out his daughter, along with her ex-boyfriend, after a death from a friend. So who knows who that'll be anyway. But here's the downside to Netflix. In November 1st, they removed the show From Dusk Till Dawn, the series, and that series debuted on the Al Grey Network, which was defunct a couple of years ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago. Yeah, it went defunct in 2020, and it's now a streaming service on the Roku channel. So yeah, it's not really the same after that. I mean, that's how I first watched the show on the El Rey Network. It was co-created by Robert Rodriguez, who directed the movie, the original movie. So, and speaking of movies, there's one blockbuster. Yeah, there's one movie that's definitely going to be a blockbuster hit. Well, and also for Marvel, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Yeah, I've seen the trailers, I saw the commercials, and I'm gonna see it next week, definitely. Like, yeah, I'm going to be watching the first movie soon, but I'm not sure whether to watch it for the double feature. They're going to show both the first one and the second one, and for Chadwick Besides, I know that movie is going to be dedicated to Chadwick Boseman. God rest his soul. And let's talk about some sports, and by that, football. And by football, I mean the XFL, the Extreme Football League. Now I remember about the Extreme Football League. It first started in 2001, as a part of the WWE, and it was founded by Vince McMahon. It was pretty good from what I know. I mean, they also had commentators, regular WWE commentators like Jim Ross, Michael Cole, and I think Jerry the King Lawler. I remember watching a few of those episodes. It was pretty good because in 2001 there was a Chicago team called the Chicago Enforcers, but it went defunct because of low viewership ratings. But Vince McMahon decided to try again later on for 2020. And the games were pretty good. And even though these Chicago Enforcers were not a part of the 2020 revival, I was still hoping for them to come back later on in the future. But unfortunately, I had to wait a little bit longer than that because we know what happened during first start of 2020, that pandemic. And because of that, they had to cancel the XFL had to cancel their season midway. The XFL had to cancel their season mid-season without a championship match. So it was pretty much a real bummer. Then I heard there was a bankruptcy. The person who was in charge of it got fired because he tried to sell off and liquidate everything there was. Then I heard, a year later after, I heard that The Rock, which was, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, was managed to make a deal and buy XFL along with his wife, Debbie Garcia. But still, we had to wait a little longer after that because there were still restrictions for sports. But this coming year, 2023, is coming back in the spring. And there's still no word about the Chicago Enforcers, which is what I'm trying to bring back. I mean, Chicago needs a football team. And since I heard that the Chicago Bears managed to win the bid for their new stadium outside of Chicago, I mean that means the Chicago Bears are not going to be playing in Soldier Field later in the future. So yeah, we need a Chicago XFL team. We need the Chicago Enforcers back. So that's what I had to say about the XFL. Though I'm still stoked for the XFL coming back, I'm still hoping for the Chicago Enforcers. They did. I cannot wait for this to come back. Now for video games. Well, for an upcoming video game, this is my next segment. I'm calling it Now and Later. Right now, I heard there's going to be a Dead Space remake. Yep, they're remaking the franchise. Well, I mean, they're remaking the first game, for what I know. Yeah, I mean, the pro is that they're remaking. Yeah, that's the pro for the Dead Space. They're going to be remaking the first game, but the con is, the real con is what they decided not to go on to Dead Space 4. So Dead Space 4 after that. I was really hoping for that one. Who knows what would have happened? Would have been like a war between the humans and the Necromorphs. Yeah, and those are the enemies because of the marker moons. Okay, well, apart from that, we do have a remake of the first game coming up, and I saw the trailer. That's the best part of it. I mean, from what I saw and heard, Gunnar Wright, the voice who started being the voice of Isaac Clarke in Dead Space 2 from Dead Space 3, is coming back. It's coming back for the first game. And from what I remember, that they didn't have anyone voicing Isaac Clarke in the original game. Like in the beginning, Isaac had no dialogue. He just listened to people and did what he had to. That was pretty much for what I knew about Dead Space 1 from the original game. Right now they're remaking the game, and they're going to release it soon, probably later this coming year in 2023. But later on, they need to up the ante by not just remaking their game, not just remaking hopefully their sequels, but also making Dead Space 4. Because I bet it's what everybody has been waiting for a long time. But Dead Space, but the remake of Dead Space isn't the only thing that's surprising. There's been also this game that's been also what everybody has been waiting for almost a decade, and that is Dead Island 2. And I remember playing Dead Island. It was a pretty good game. I mean, you get to explore. Apart from killing zombies, you get to make your own weapons from whatever you collect. Also try and gain experience points. I remember playing the Dead Island on Xbox 360. Pretty good game. I can't wait until Dead Island 2. It was announced in 2014, and I saw the trailer for that one. Especially for what happened when a guy was going through a zombification, decaying and starting to act like a zombie. And yeah, the game takes place after the expansion Dead Island Riptide. I still call that Dead Island 2. But yeah, it takes place after Dead Island Riptide. And now Dead Island 2 is going to take place in unlike the original game. I mean, unlike the first game, Dead Island, which was set in Hanoi, in an island, which was set in an island resort. This is going to take place in California, where the whole of California has been completely quarantined and sealed off from everybody else. You know, and it's also a much stronger zombie outbreak. And for those of you who played Dead Island Riptide, you'll know what I mean, especially with the ending. Although I cannot wait until Dead Island 2. Hopefully that's a game I'm definitely gonna play. It's gonna be released in February 3rd, 2023. So wait until I get a review for it. Until I review it and play it, of course. And here's the next thing I want to talk about: Grand Theft Auto. Well, the Grand Theft Auto series. There was a. I mean, we all know what. Well, here's the scenario. I mean, with GTA 1 and 2, it takes place in Liberty City, and as well as GTA 3. Okay. 1 through. Hang on a moment. Yeah, sorry, I'm filming this from my phone. I think I had like a spam call or something. Yeah, I think I had like a spam call or something, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, GTA 1 through 4 takes place in Liberty City, but there was also other regulars that were connected with the Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And even though there was expansions for GTA Online for Vice City, I mean, there was never actually a direct sequel that takes place in it, but instead of expansions. But Grand Theft Auto 5 took place in San Andreas, and it was technically like a first because, well, the only thing that was a first for Grand Theft Auto 5 was because you get to play 3 characters. Yeah, you play as 3 different characters in it. So, but I'm guessing it might happen for later future in Grand Theft Auto 6, which is what I want to talk about. I mean, where it needs to take place, like where on earth will Grand Theft Auto 6 take place? I'm hoping for that it'll be Vice City. I mean, there was a game called Grand Theft Auto Vice City, but that takes place like in the 80s or the 90s. No, it takes place in the 80s. Yeah, definitely in the 80s. Because I know they always had like a time difference, especially when it came to Grand Theft Auto London, and that was a PS1 game. So then let's start by doing the one scenario that people have been hoping for. Around the net. Okay, here's what I want to show you guys of like a little bit and see. Look, see, look, it looks dramatic, but look when you hear it in the shorts. See that? See that what I mean? Like screaming and crying, but it's actually like opera singing. It's like opera singing. And check this out, casual world record jump. But is that really possible? Let's watch the short and find out about it. And again. Okay, check this out. Water bucket challenge. I mean, I've heard of the ice bucket challenge, but never the water bucket challenge. What's this guy up to? Let's see let's check it out and see what's going on. Okay, here he goes. And oh my god. What the hell is he up to? Oh, this one. Oh, yeah. Oh my. Wait. Oh, there's no ice in there. Now it's the water bottle. And right. Ooh, not so good. Okay, this one's from Justin Flom. Let's see what he's up. This is up to. Maybe it's a prank or something. It's definitely gonna be a prank. He probably's gonna trick her. He's probably gonna trick her, and it's gonna pop. It says her brain short-circuited when he threw it. I don't know what that means. It even looks like a bowling ball to hold her in the wrong way. Wait, what? What is he up to? So that was the prank. Okay, this can't be real. Let's see what that means. Wait until the end. Okay. Oh. No way. No way. Yeah, that's real. And now it's time for the feed. Ooh. Okay, so with the feed today, there's some good news and bad news. Well, here's this scenario. Which I found surprising yesterday. And yesterday was Friday. And let me say one thing. I found out that there's going to be a Twisted Metal series. Yeah, there's going to be a TV series of Twisted Metal, based on a video game. And it's going to be on Peacock. The only difference is it's not going to exactly be based on a video game. It's going to be set in a post-apocalyptic world. It's going to be about this delivery man who has to make a dangerous delivery through a post-apocalyptic land. And guess who's going to be one of the people who's going to be chasing them? Sweet Tooth. And the surprising thing is that the actor who's going to play Sweet Tooth, physically, the physical character is going to be Samoa Joe. From WWE and all of the wrestling. Yeah, he's going to play Sweet Tooth. But the actor who's going to voice Sweet Tooth himself is Will Arnett. And that's a bit surprising if I do say so for myself. So, well, hopefully for this Twisted Metal series that's going to be on Peacock going to be coming soon to Peacock. Hopefully, it won't be as terrible as the Resident Evil Netflix series, and by that I mean the live action one. That was a show I managed to watch through, but not Cowboy Bebop. Even I heard that sounded way terrible. But there's some surprising news, for the UK and for both the US. Spitting Image, which was revived in 2020, and it was a comedy puppet show, which had political satire as well as celebrities and stuff. It has been canceled by BritBox. And some people are saying it's because of ITV's new streaming service, ITV Plus. That's what I heard. But it lasted until 2021. It lasted 2 series. I was really hoping for series 3 because I heard a whole lot. Because we all know what happened with the Queen. God rest her soul. I mean, but there was also the issues with politics in Britain. I mean, look what happened. There was not one, but 2 prime minister elections in the same year. And yeah, they were also described and depicted in Spitting Image. Hopefully, another streaming service or a television channel will pick it up. Hopefully, the BBC or Channel 4 with those UK channels. But for here in the US, I'm hoping that NBC has the balls to pick it up. And hopefully, if they do it, HBO Max, hopefully. And another surprising thing from All Elite Wrestling, from what I found out when Cole Cabana was also Chicago's own. Like he was from Chicago, from what I heard from one of the tweeters. It turns out like his return on Wednesday was like his only return from what I heard, because I heard that Colt Cabana will not be making future AEW appearances. Probably not until the summer of 2023. Maybe until CM Punk recovers. And that's the next thing I want to talk to you all about. Stop hating on CM Punk. He got injured at All Out. And yes, it was when he won the championship for a second time. But he got injured because of that, and I think he was upset about that. And besides, he's already paying for it already. And so far, it's only 7 more months. 7 more months until he's recovered. And he'll be back in the ring probably in May or June in 2023. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing this mask for CM Punk. He wore this mask. I mean, this isn't the original mask. I mean, I bought this on eBay. But technically speaking, yeah, don't blame CM Punk. But don't be hating on CM Punk. And another thing about wrestling is about what happened at the main event earlier on Friday Night SmackDown. Rey Mysterio, who went through a number 1 contenders match a few weeks ago on Friday Night SmackDown for the Intercontinental Championship, didn't quite actually make the win today. He did all he could, but Gunther managed to defeat him. Yeah. Which I say was upset because I like Rey Mysterio, and he's already had me some trouble in NXT with his son Dominic, who turned to the dark side with the Judgment Day, like I said last time. But who knows what will happen next Monday with him? Or next Friday. I'm sure I do not want him to quit. I do not want him to quit. And one more surprising thing. Jimmy Kimmel, like I heard today that he stated he would quit his show on ABC if the network would ever stop him from making anti-Trump remarks. And I do not want Jimmy Kimmel to leave. I mean, he's still standing. He still has his talk show on ABC. But yeah, but that was surprising. It was surprising that he would say he would quit ABC if they stopped him from making any jokes, especially against Trump. So right now, WWE Crown Jewel is about 14 hours away. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow afternoon, and And hopefully Logan Paul will have a chance. And hopefully his brother Jake will not turn his back on him. Or that Roman Reigns won't have anything up his sleeve. I have a 50-50 chance of watching the main event or not. But sooner, Logan Paul needs to do this. He needs to beat Roman Reigns. He will beat Roman Reigns tomorrow afternoon. And he needs to have a trick up his sleeve. Logan Paul needs to have a trick up his sleeve. And he's gotta watch out. And he's gotta watch out for the rest of the bloodline. But Logan, I'm counting on you. Okay. We cannot let Roman Reigns win again. Okay. He's just getting boring. It's just getting ridiculous. And as for the Brawling Brutes, do whatever you can. Do whatever you can on winning those championships. Okay. So I will see you all next week. We'll talk about results of what happened with Crown Jewel, Monday Night Raw, especially with AEW Dynamite. So, and also after watching Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever. So I'm David Calderon. I'll see you all next week. Hope you enjoyed Revenge of the Show, and like and subscribe.